What's up, beautiful jellyfishes? Tracy, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Today I'm going to be doing a video talking all about board wipes. I'm not going to be doing this in like a color specific order or anything like that. These are kind of just ones that I wrote down as I thought of them. A lot of these are white, but there are a couple of other colors and stuff like that in here. But this is mostly for like EDH, when you're kind of like, I need board wipes, I need to blow up the field. It's definitely something that's really important in the game to have. And especially like a lot of times if you just don't have a board and you just really need to get rid of someone else's, or even if you do have a board and you're like, I need to just blow everything up because everything's super threatening. So, first one that I want to talk to you guys about is one of my personal favorites, and that is Akroma's Vengeance. And this card is super sweet. It destroys artifacts, creatures, and enchantments, which is really, really cool for 6 mana, which is awesome. And the fact that this card has cycling, now, I really don't ever cycle this card, like, ever, but you have that option if you need to. If you're, like, in desperate need to, like, draw a card that's, like, not a field wipe or something, like, whatever, that card can offer you that, so I really like that a lot. Just the fact that it gets rid of basically everything that you need it to is really, really great. So, Akroma's Vengeance is definitely one of my favorites. The second one that I've talked to you guys about is one of my all-time favorite field wipes, like ever, and that is In Garruk's Wake, or In Garruk's Wake. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite cards. Yes, it's 9 mana, however, if you're playing EDH, this is going to be one of the highest mana cost cards in your deck, probably, and I think that's totally fine, because you get to this card in the late game, and you're just like, things are super threatening, and you have a great board that you want to hang on to, and you can just get rid of other people's. This is especially really good against Super Friends, because Super Friends has a lot of planeswalkers, and you don't have a really good way of getting rid of basically all of the planeswalkers. So I really like the fact that In Garruk's Wake does that. And again, it is 9 mana, but I don't really think you care about that at the late game, at the late stage when you do need to be getting rid of the board. And again, it hits everyone's things but yours, so it's like you keep all of your stuff, which is super awesome. Right, and then the third one I want to talk to you guys about is Perilous Vault, and I love Perilous Vault. And the reason why I like it is because you play it and it just kind of sits on the field, and then you have 5 mana open for it. People are kind of like playing around it because they're like, I'm gonna go to kill it, and you're just like, I'm gonna, you know, crack in a response and exile everything. And again, it's exile, which is super, super important, because the fact that it gets rid of, you know, it gets by indestructible, it gets rid of hexproof, it's just everything gets exiled. You don't have to deal with like anything, so that's super awesome. And again, I like it because you have that control over when you want to pop it off. Basically, like, someone will, you know, play something and you'll be like, okay, cool, sounds like a good time to crack my Perilous Vault, so I like that. Then we get into one of my favorite Magic card flavors pretty much of all time, and that is Blasphemous Act. I just really like the word blasphemy a lot. I think it's really fun to say, and I really like Blasphemous Act because nearly every time you will be paying 1 mana for this field wipe. Super, super great. Everyone's got, you know, a lot of stuff. It's 13 damage. You're probably getting rid of most everything. Probably. The fact that this is just 1 mana to essentially get rid of all of the threatening creatures on the board is just absolutely amazing. Then we're going to talk about End Hostilities, and End Hostilities is super amazing. And the reason why this card is so good is because the fact that it gets rid of enchantments and artifacts that are like equipped to creatures. So in EDH, people are going to be running Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots and enchantments on their creatures and things like that. And you're kind of just like, okay, cool, I'm going to get rid of the creatures, and I'm also going to get rid of all of like the permanents attached to them, which is super great. It's actually, End Hostilities is actually being used in some modern sideboards to deal with boggles, basically, because you can't target boggles, but you can target all of their enchantments and stuff that are on the creatures. So that's super great. And then we have Decree of Pain, and I really like Decree of Pain a lot. It is 8 mana if I'm remembering correctly. 6 and 2 black color, 6 and 2 black colorless. Yep, 6 and 2 color, 6 and 2 black. And basically, the really cool thing about this card is that you have that option. So if you blow up the board, and then you get to draw a card for each creature who died, which is really good in and of itself. I like the fact that it's black because it's definitely like a kind of interesting thing that you get to draw a lot of cards in black, which I think is really cool. And the fact that you can cycle it. So if you have a bunch of stuff on the board that's just really small, or a lot of threatening stuff that's just really small, that's like, you know, 5/2s or stuff like that, you can just be like, cycle Decree of Pain, everything gets -2/-2. So I just think that's really cool. So I like Decree of Pain, and like versatility is just something, one of the best things that you can do in this game, period. So the fact that this card allows you to do that is really great. And it's kind of like, it's like a mini field wipe with the -2/-2, so that's super great. Right, and then we have Wrath of God, and the reason that Wrath of God is just better than like Day of Judgment in a sense, and I mean I like them both, but Wrath of God is just better because they can't be regenerated, so it's just so helpful in so many different things. Like, you know, if you're playing against elves and they have Azuri, you're just like, your bros can't be regenerated, or anything like that, you know, you're gonna regenerate. So I really like Wrath of God. And then we get into one of my favorite field wipes that is very specific to basically monocolored decks, but that is Mask Calcify. And this card is absolutely fantastic because it's kind of one of those cards like in Garruk's Wake where like if you're playing a monocolored deck, you get rid of everyone else's field but your own. It is absolutely fantastic. If you're playing white in EDH, I would really recommend Mask Calcify because it's just super great. Right, and then we get into one of the most, it's not necessarily, I mean, it kind of is a field wipe, sort of, that is Cyclonic Rift. I feel like this video would not really be complete if I didn't talk about Cyclonic Rift, which is one of the most popular blue board wipe kind of sort of things. I mean, blue doesn't really do board wipes, it's not really their thing, but this card just brings everything back to their hand. It's going to slow your opponents down a lot. And the fact that it's stuff that you don't control, so you get to keep your board. It's at instant speed, so you can do that, and you're playing in EDH, so you're playing against multiple people. Multiple people are going to have a, you know, threatening stuff on the board, and you just bounce everything back to their hand. Again, it doesn't target, so you get rid of, you know, you get by hexproof, you get by indestructible, things like that. So I think that's something that's really important about field wipes, is that you have to keep in mind that people are going to be making their stuff indestructible and hexproof. How do you get around that? So that's something that's really important. So Cyclonic Rift is super great. And you know what? No one really necessarily likes casting Cyclonic Rift for 2 mana and just getting rid of one thing, but like if you need to, the option is there for you. Right, and the last card that I want to talk about is just really sweet, definitely a really good white essential, I think, and that is Planar Cleansing, simply because this just gets rid of everything. It gets rid of artifacts, enchantments, creatures, planeswalkers, wow, that threatening stuff that you just get rid of for 6 mana. It is triple white though, so you know, be careful if you're putting this in like a 2-3 color deck or something like that, but Planar Cleansing is just absolutely amazing, like I said, because it's one of the few board wipe cards that can deal with a bunch of planeswalkers. I mean, they talk about Super Friends because I know a friend who plays Super Friends, and I'm just kind of like, I'm also building it, so like that's a thing. But yeah, yeah. All right, cool guys, that was it. That was all the stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video. I'll probably be doing the second part of it, talking about a couple more board wipes when I think about them, but yeah, I like doing EDH videos and I want to do more of them. I feel like I talk a lot about Modern on my channel, which is fine, and I don't mind that, but I know a bunch of you guys play EDH as well, and I want to do more EDH videos and to balance out the Modern stuff, so yeah. Alright guys, I have a funny story to tell you. So I'm getting picked up by my friends I'm on my way to GP Pittsburgh in a little bit, and my friend's like, be prepared for when we come to get you because we're gonna whisk you away. And I was like, whisk away? You're gonna put target attacking Tracy on top of my owner's library? It's a magic card from Fate Forged. I thought that was funny. Okay. Alright guys, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day/night, and I'll talk to you in this video. Bye.